Okay, so you've been training and now you have some muscle soreness coming about, shoulders, legs, what have you, and then the next time the day comes around to hit that body part again, it's still sore, and you ask yourself, should I train? To train or not to train? That's the question. Okay, so when your muscles get sore, and I hope you can tell the difference between muscle soreness and actual, like, real muscle pain, like as if, like if you tore a muscle or something. I've been lucky enough, I've never tore a muscle, but I would like to think I could tell the difference. I've been at it long enough where I can tell where my muscles are just sore or something is wrong. Because I have pulled a couple muscles, and I can tell the difference. Hopefully you can. So if you're just experiencing some muscle soreness and you're wondering, should I train through it? Maybe you hit legs, Thursday, and then maybe the next week on Thursday again, or a few days earlier, you're going to hit them again, and they're still sore from the last training session. If you're wondering if you should train through that pain, the answer is absolutely yes, do it. But if you are in excruciating pain, if it's really that bad, you are so sore that, say just for instance legs, if you're really having a lot of trouble just like getting in and out of your car, then maybe training isn't the way you should go. Maybe you should just do some stretching, a little bit of mobility work, and what have you. But even if you're pretty sore but it's not overly brutal, then yes, train through it. Because muscle soreness actually comes really from a result of training in frequency. In other words, you're not training the muscle enough. What happens whenever you train a muscle? Whenever you train any muscle, so say you train your bicep, you're doing your bicep curls. It's almost, think of it like a car. When a car is driving, it uses gasoline to move, right? And then what's the byproduct of the engine burning through all that gasoline? It has the carbon dioxide or monoxide, whatever it is, the exhaust coming out. That's the byproduct of it, all the crap coming out, to put it, crudely. So when you train a muscle, your bicep, whatever, think of your muscle as the car, and when it's doing the work, when it's moving, you're using fuel, different things that are stored in your muscle, to do the work, and then the byproduct of that, the exhaust, hope you're following me, is lactic acid. That's what builds up in the muscle. That's like the carbon monoxide. That's what builds up in your muscle. So it's lactic acid that builds up in your muscle. And when you haven't trained that much and you're new to it, or even if you've been training for a while but there's certain muscles you just don't train a lot, which is typically legs for people, your body isn't too efficient with flushing that lactic acid buildup. So when that lactic acid is in there, that's what causes the soreness. So when you train legs real heavy and you haven't in a while, you get tons of lactic acid buildup. And then your body isn't used to flushing that lactic acid out, so it just sits in there, and that's why you get sore. So when you train your body parts more frequently, your body gets more used to continually flushing out that lactic acid. Even if you train harder and harder and harder, your body will just be used to getting rid of it. So then that way you don't have that buildup and you don't get that soreness. Because you can ask pretty much anybody who is a seasoned vet, if that's what you want to call it, at lifting, if they've been at it. And you really don't get sore too much anymore. I mean, you still do a little bit here and there, but you never. It's fairly rare that like you go and hit like shoulders one day and wake up the next day and just your shoulders are like killing you. You might be a little sore, but nothing too bad because your body's used to handling that workload and getting rid of that excess lactic acid. So you need to train more often to not have that problem anymore. And then as far as training through it, you absolutely can. That's all that muscle soreness is. It doesn't mean the muscle isn't ready to be trained again. It doesn't mean that you're extra susceptible to injuring it. It doesn't mean any of those things. It just means you have to build up a lactic acid. And probably training it will only help. And again, if it's really, really bad, then maybe just do some light stretching or go light on it in the gym if it's really that bad. But if it's not that bad, go ahead and train through it. And do a little bit of stretching beforehand. Make sure you do your warm-up sets. And then I bet you once you hit a couple heavier sets, you're actually going to start feeling pretty good. I hope that answers your question. Don't use muscle soreness as an excuse to skip some training, okay? Get in there and hit it hard. Hope this video helped, and thanks for stopping by Informed Fitness.